QS Radio, a groundbreaking broadcasting group in Mexico with over 50 years' experience in radio station operations. Present in 105 major markets in 9 countries, with 150 radio stations, is the largest Spanish broadcasting pop and regional music network in Latin America.
Hola, mi nombre es Michele con The QS Realty Group. Acompáñame todos los sábados a las 10 de la mañana para informarte los varias maneras de comprar tu casa. Hablamos el sábado.
Yo soy albañil y escucho la mejor. Somos la mejor.
Aquí estoy, Michele, la reina de buenas raíces, y yo espero que todos ustedes pasaron una semana bien. Yo he pasado una semana siempre busy, siempre enseñando casa o comerciales para alquilar, para vender. Siempre yo estoy trabajando para ustedes. So, si tienes alguna casa para vender o para comprar comerciales, propiedad, terreno, ya saben que me pueden llamar a 321-300-5774. Pero yo espero que todos ustedes pasaron una semana bien. Pero antes que empezamos, yo tengo a TurnScore, Chris de TurnScore aquí, que hablaron de nosotros. Él está aquí para ayudar a nosotros para entender el crédito de nosotros y qué importante es para mantenerlo. Y si alguna persona que tiene problemas que el credit score que no se ve tan bonita, pues aquí está para ayudarte. Pero antes que hablamos con Chris, yo quiero decirte lo que me pasó. Ustedes saben que en Hurricane Irma, que lo que me pasó con el techo, ya saben que me tienen que poner un techo nuevo. Pues el señor de la compañía vino para darme un estimado. Pues él me estaba hablando con mi esposo, y me dijo, bueno, ¿cuánto es el cheque del seguro? Y yo lo miré y yo dije, ¿por qué usted quiere saber cuánto es el cheque? Pues eso es lo que yo voy a ponerlo en el estimado. Y yo dije, así no brega. Me tienes que dar un estimado y después yo te pago. Yo no te voy a decir cuánto es el cheque del seguro. Pues no me dio ningún estimado. Pues está bien, no me quiere dar el estimado. Pues yo y mi esposo buscamos información sobre la compañía, porque yo he usado esta compañía a diferentes clientes míos. Y mi esposo llamó al presidente. Pues el lunes van a venir otra persona, el senior roofing estimator, que va a venir el lunes para darme un estimado. Porque ya saben, si te dicen cuánto es el cheque, no le dan cuánto es el cheque. Dan supuesto darte el estimado. Y por ahí brega. Ahora, si no es suficiente, pues después ustedes pueden llamar al seguro y hablar con el seguro. Pero pides el estimado, por lo menos lo puedes mandar al seguro. So, ten mucho cuidado, porque yo te digo que hay pillos por ahí, especialmente si uno no sabe. Siempre hay buscando dinero. I was just telling them, hi Chris, how are you?
Hi, hola, good morning.
Hola, good morning. Thank you for coming.
Oh, it's our pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us back again. We had a lot of fun last time.
You had a lot of questions last time.
Well,
too.
we did. The audience was participating. It was a lot of fun. It was very exciting. Maybe we can have some of the same excitement today on this beautiful Saturday.
I bet you we will. It's a little chilly though.
It depends on what your definition of chilly is.
I had to put a sweater on. It's chilly.
Okay. Well.
Está haciendo frío para mí. Ya mismo va a nevar. I just said it's cold and it's going to snow any minute now.
Well, having lived the last 40 years in Minnesota, I can assure you this is not cold.
I bet. But I was just telling the listeners that we had, from Hurricane Irma, my roof has to be replaced. Mm-hmm. So the guy came to give me an estimate. And what he did was said, well, how much is the insurance check? Because that's how much he was going to write the estimate for. And it doesn't work like that.
That seems not the right way to do business.
No, it's not. And the sad thing is we use them for quite a few of our clients' houses. And they're really great on spot, on the ball. But we were just taken back a little bit with them, at him asking this question. But it didn't matter because Gary knows the president of the company, so he called him directly. So their senior estimators coming out on Monday to give us a price, but we don't share how much how much our checks are for.
Right.
I mean,
speaking of Hurricane Irma, the audience might need to be made aware too that there are some programs out there. If anyone was adversely affected by the hurricane, because of the hurricane, if they were unemployed, they lost their job for a period of time, and it caused them financial hardship, that there are solutions out there that we can help and work with creditors and things like that to remedy those situations. So just make sure that the audience understands that there are solutions out there if they were impacted, their credit was impacted financially because of the hurricane.
Ok, pues como Chris dijo que hay diferentes problemas ahí si ustedes perdieron su trabajo porque el Hurricane Irma, hay diferentes programas ahí para ayudarte. Tienes que llamar al Estado para saber qué te pueden ayudar. Yo sé si perdiste su trabajo, pueden llamar a la hipoteca para ver si ellos te pueden ayudar. A veces cogen su pago y lo pones atrás, al final de los 30 años. So, se puede llamar y preguntar. I was telling them too what you said, but I took it a step further was if you owe on your mortgage still and you lost your job because of the hurricane, you can call the mortgage company, and the mortgage company sometimes, not all of them are as generous, but sometimes they'll take it and they'll put it at the end of the term. At the end of the 30 years, they'll take this payment and put it at the end.
Yeah, and you need to really communicate with your lender in a situation like this. You need to be proactive and speak with them. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. You need to be proactive. And if you speak with somebody who doesn't necessarily give you the answer that you're looking for, it's okay to ask to speak to their boss and speak to a supervisor and go up the chain of command until you get the response or the results that you're looking for, because having a late payment on your credit profile, especially a mortgage late payment, is extremely impactful. It can impact your credit score by as much as 100 points. And
that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. So it's to take 30 or 45 minutes or 2 hours or however long it takes in order to remedy the situation, just be proactive. And these are situations that we come across all the time, and we help our clients navigate all of these different situations within their credit report.
Okay, that's great. That's great information. So ya saben, si hablas con la hipoteca y no te dieron la contesta que usted está buscando, ya saben que pueden seguir subiendo la escalera y decir, pues, no me va a ayudar, déjame hablar con tu jefe. No me ayuda, déjame hablar con su jefe. Sigue subiendo la escalera para ayudar, para preguntar por su ayuda, porque no es que no quieres pagarlo, es que no puedes pagarlo. Pero no puede esconderte tampoco, porque si usted se esconde, la hipoteca está ahí y te van a encontrar. Acuérdate, si no paga la hipoteca, ya ellos lo van a poner en your credit. Se va a enseñar. So, así que no se puede esconder. So, aquí tengo a Chris de Turn Score. El número del teléfono de él es 941-445-0439. Y lo que vamos a hablar hoy es sobre su crédito. ¿Qué vamos a hacer con su crédito? Hay personas que me han llamado de este show preguntando que quieren comprar una casa, pero ¿qué pasa? Ellos no tienen el crédito. So, vamos a hablar con Chris de Turn Score y para ayudar a ustedes. So, Chris, refresh our listeners' memories, my future clients' memories, about your company and what is it that you do.
Okay, thank you. It's great to be back here. Michele, thank you for having us. Turn Score is essentially a web-based interactive credit restoration software platform. And one of the things that customers, clients need to understand is that the process itself is designed to be complicated.
Okay.
But it's not. It's very, very simple. And what we've done is created a completely transparent technology platform to where if your audience doesn't speak fluent English and they're predominantly Spanish, that's okay. We have an ebook in Spanish that literally explains the entire process. Okay, so we rely on technology for reminders and transparency, but the law is the same for all of us, irrespective of our native land or our language or anything like that. The law is the same for everyone. And it's very important for your listening audience to understand what that law is and how we use it to our advantage to remove derogatory or quote-unquote negative things from a credit profile.
Okay, so how would you do that?
So imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table, and on one side of the equation we have the 3 repositories or credit bureaus. That would consist of TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax.
Okay.
Are those names familiar?
Very familiar.
Okay, I think we've all heard of those 3 companies. They are private, for-profit entities, and they make money by storing our financial data and then reselling it to third-party lenders, banks, credit unions, and so on and so forth. The scoring model, which is a math algorithm, most of your audience probably has heard the term FICO.
Yep.
Or Fair Isaac score. That's the number that the software spits out that determines what rate of interest Michele is going to get, or Chris is going to get, or Ella is going to get based on our credit profile.
So they take all 3 credit reports.
Yes.
And what do they do with it to come up with the FICO?
They use an average. It consists of your payment history, the balance that you have in relation to the limit that the creditor has extended to you.
Okay.
The types of accounts that you have, whether they're installment, like a car loan, which is a fixed payment for a fixed term, a revolving, which is like a charge card, a mortgage payment. Those are all of the encapsulating features, how long you've been in the ecosystem for, and then your payment history. Those are primarily what consists or calculates a FICO score.
Okay, so they take the 3 and then they average it out.
And then they average it out. That's correct.
Okay, then they start subtracting how many years you've been there, how many payments you've made on time, how many payments you haven't made on time.
Correct.
Do they take into consideration, such as like Hurricane Irma and they lost their job?
In this particular situation, yes, the government has essentially enacted it's Hurricane Relief Act. When the government puts a natural disaster situation in play, creditors are supposed to follow certain criteria. The same thing holds true with our military personnel. If they're deployed overseas, a lot of those things are supposed to stop. The problem that we have is that because it's a law doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually followed by the creditors and the responsible parties themselves. It's not an automatic. It never is. And getting back to your point on the original part in terms of what does Turn Score do, we force the creditors and the credit bureaus to talk to one another, because the law says that if they're going to publish our credit information for the world to see, and that's what our cost of money or how we borrow is gauged upon that. The law says that it has to be 100% accurate and 100% verifiable. And the burden of proof isn't on us. It isn't on the listeners. It isn't on the people listening to this radio program. It's on the credit bureaus and the creditors themselves. And in order for everyone out there to understand how virtually impossible it is for them to verify and do this, just think while you're driving or while you're doing the dishes right now or whatever it is you're doing. Ask yourself, coffee.
I haven't had a cup, but that's all right. I'm gonna make it. I'll make it for the hour. Go ahead.
Just ask yourself if you can remember what you had for lunch 3 weeks ago last Wednesday.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen for any of us.
No.
I mean, so when you apply it in those terms, you can understand how difficult it is for them to do that, and this should give your listening audience hope to know that if they do have derogatory items in their credit profile that's suppressing their score, if they just take a few minutes and understand how the system works, they can remove and permanently delete those items and raise their credit score. It's not complicated, it's just simply a process, and it's time consuming. And time is going to go by either way, whether they're proactive or not. It's kind of up to them.
It is up to them. Ya sabes, si ustedes tienen alguna pregunta, lo pueden mandar un PM que tengo a Ellie siempre aquí ayudándome. Perdón, se puede mandar un PM a Ellie y ella va a decirle la pregunta. So, vamos a coger un comercial.
La experiencia importa. En Title Abstract Agency of America somos líderes construyendo fuertes alianzas. Fundado en 1988, hemos comprobado nuestra fuerza. Contamos con un excelente equipo construyendo organización y éxito. Contamos con empleados que por más de una década han adquirido diferentes facetas en bienes y raíces, escrituración y acuerdos en la industria. Title Abstract Agency of America tiene la capacidad, preparación y habilidad para guiar a compradores, vendedores, prestamistas y agentes de bienes y raíces con un proceso sutil y tiempo razonable. En Title Abstract Agency of America trabajamos de cerca con nuestros escrituradores y guiamos a nuestros clientes comerciales desde un contrato hasta una escrituración. Contáctanos hoy mismo, 407-592-9544, de lunes a viernes de 8 a 6 de la tarde y sábados con cita. Toma ventaja de esta promoción. Utiliza nuestra plataforma. Adquiere hoy mismo una cotización inmediata para tu escrituración. Siéntete seguro y en paz confiando en Title Abstract Agency of America.
Hola, mi nombre es Michele con The QS Realty Group. Acompáñame todos los sábados a las 10 de la mañana para informarte los varias maneras de comprar tu casa. Hablamos el sábado.
Hola, mi futuro cliente. Aquí estoy, Michele, la reina de buenas raíces, y aquí siempre estoy ayudando a ustedes a la orden. Tengo a Chris from TurnScore ayudando y para hablar sobre cómo se juega su crédito. Y tenemos 3 preguntas. Pedro González, gracias por su pregunta. Chris, I have 3 questions, and they're all for you.
Okay.
Lucky one.
Wonderful.
Okay, the first one, yo voy a leerlo en español. I'm gonna read it in Spanish. I'm gonna tell you the question, so I'll give you a minute to your thought process, and then I'll read it to them in Spanish. This one, he made, he made arrangements through the courts to pay his credit score, to pay his credit cards. Now he's done paying, so now what does he have to do to verify on his credit that everything is taken care of? So, Pedro, me preguntaste a Chris si has sido un arreglo para pagar su crédito, las tarjetas de crédito, por una corte y terminaste pagarlo. ¿Cómo arreglo mi crédito, or how do you verify?
Well, Pedro, there's a couple of different things that you first need to do. The question I have for you is, when you say that you agreed to pay through the court system, did you file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, or did you just agree to pay the debt in the form of a collection or a charge-off? That is first and foremost. But that being said, the mere fact that he's already paid them, what essentially he needs to do is pull a fresh copy of his credit report and see the way that they're reporting within his personal credit profile. That is the only way that you can be sure that the other parties have lived up to their obligations. You need to force them to maintain an accurate reporting of your credit profile. They will not do it on their own per se.
So should he make copies of everything and send it out to each of the creditors?
Well, before he does that, I would encourage him to reach out to us and let us help him identify the way that it's reporting, so he has a proper course of action. If you're going to do something within your credit profile, it's always best to have the right information so that when you do something, you get maximum benefit.
Okay, Pedro, llama al Chris después del show a 941-445-0439 para que él te pueda dar más información, porque no es tan fácil para chequearlo, su crédito.
And information is free. There's no charge for Pedro to call and ask these questions.
Y la llamada es gratis. So, no te sientes que hay una obligación, porque no hay. Solamente él quiere hablar contigo para estar seguro que te da dando la información bien.
And Shauna would probably answer the phone.
Va a ser una mujer, Shauna, que ella no podía estar aquí. So, ella te puede ayudar. Pero llama al 941-445-0439. Ya sabes, llama a Shauna de TurnScore para que ellos se pueden ayudarte, porque no es tan fácil de esa pregunta porque no sabe cuál fue el arreglo. Sí, lo pagaste, pero ¿cómo? Si fue through the bankruptcy o colección, no sabemos. Okay. So, así que llama. Y la segunda pregunta, deja ver. Let's see. ¿Qué pasa cuando? Well, let me leave it to you. What happens when you haven't paid your? Gracias, Doris. ¿Qué pasa cuando que no pagaste el impuesto por 2 años al crédito? So this person, Doris. Thank you, Doris, for your question. She's saying what happens if someone hasn't paid their taxes in the past 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 2 separate things. Filing your taxes has nothing to do with your credit report initially, unless you owe taxes and then you fail to pay them. And it takes quite a long time for the government to catch up to you not filing your taxes and then not paying your taxes before it would actually go to a tax lien status, and that would be considered a public record, and that would in fact go on your credit report. But it takes quite a while for that to happen. That's a 2 or 3 year process from the year that you didn't file. So if this person hypothetically hasn't filed her taxes in 2 years, the government can't put a lien on your credit report because there's nothing to attach it to.
But they could put a lien on their property.
I'm not a tax attorney, so I couldn't be specific to that. I can only share with how it relates to the credit report.
Okay. So the next one is from Teresa Mendoza. Déjame leerlo. ¿Cuánto tiempo dura el historial en su crédito para empezar nuevo? So in other words, how much time does it take for the credit history to kind of clear itself and so she can start fresh?
Hola, Teresa.
Practicando español, good.
It happens actually very quickly. The law says that they have 30 days from the moment you challenge something to provide you written proof of the items that are within your personal credit profile. And subsequent to that, so if you challenge items in your profile and they're not verified as accurate and they're deleted, the following month, those items are no longer there. Hence, when the system calculates your FICO score, if those derogatories aren't there, your score rises. So, depending on the number of items in an individual credit profile, it could be as limited or as short a time as 45 days to as long as 6 months to a year, depending on the number of items. So, a couple of things that you need to do is stay current on your bills, reestablish new credit once you've removed the derogatory, and keep your balances at 30% or below, and that's the best and fastest way to raise your credit score.
Okay, so that's good information. Now, if people will ask to see their credit score, or their credit report, they have no idea what they're looking at.
Unfortunately, the system is designed to be confusing.
Oh, they do it on purpose.
They do it on purpose because think about it in these terms. The credit bureaus make money selling our information, and the creditors make money buying that information. And if you're a creditor or a bank and you know someone has a really good job, they work hard, they're stable, and they make lots of money, but they've had a few derogatory situations, they've got a few late payments or whatever, and the amount of interest or fees you can charge that person are based on the FICO score. Are you going to want an accurate 100% high credit score, or are you going to want one that's maybe a little bit blemished to where you can use an arbitrary FICO number as the reason why you're going to charge that customer a higher rate of interest? Well, the fix is in, per se, between the creditors and the credit bureaus. We, as consumers, have to fight for ourselves. That's one of the reasons why we built TurnScore, is so we can help people combat this and raise their credit score, because it's your money.
Yeah. So, si alguna persona tiene alguna pregunta, la pueden llamar a Shauna at TurnScore al 941-445-0439. Vamos a coger un comercial y regresamos.
Hi, I'm Michele D'Amato with the QS Realty Group. Join me every Saturday at 10 a.m. on LaMejor 1340 to inform you of the many different ways of making your dreams come true of owning a home. Talk to you then.
La experiencia importa. En Title Abstract Agency of America somos líderes construyendo fuertes alianzas. Fundado en 1988, hemos comprobado nuestra fuerza. Contamos con un excelente equipo construyendo organización y éxito. Contamos con empleados que por más de una década han adquirido diferentes facetas en bienes y raíces, escrituración y acuerdos en la industria. Title Abstract Agency of America tiene la capacidad, preparación y habilidad para guiar a compradores, vendedores, prestamistas y agentes de bienes y raíces con un proceso sutil y tiempo razonable. En Title Abstract Agency of America trabajamos de cerca con nuestros escrituradores y guiamos a nuestros clientes comerciales desde un contrato hasta una escrituración. Contáctanos hoy mismo, 407-592-9544, de lunes a viernes de 8 a 6 de la tarde y sábados con cita. Toma ventaja de esta promoción. Utiliza nuestra plataforma. Adquiere hoy mismo una cotización inmediata para tu escrituración. Siéntete seguro y en paz confiando en Title Abstract Agency of America.
Hola, mi futuro cliente, aquí estoy Michele, la reina de buenas raíces, y yo espero que ustedes están pasando un sábado riquísimo, y yo quiero dar las gracias por escucharla a nosotros. Aquí estoy con Chris from TurnScore. Si tienes alguna pregunta, le puedes mandar un PM a LaMejor en Facebook, o le pueden llamar al radio a 407-394-1340 y contestamos sus preguntas live en el radio. Y también después del show, si ustedes tienen alguna pregunta o quieren hablar con Chris o Shauna, le pueden llamar al 941-445-0439. Ya saben, si tienes alguna pregunta sobre su crédito, pueden llamar. Chris, what is there a charge for anything for anybody to call you or to, like we have a listener that might be calling you? What is the expectation of the first call? Is there just a consultation fee or what?
No, actually, we don't charge a consultation fee. Information is free. It's all out there, but most people simply don't know how to get it or what to look for. So that's why the system is confusing.
Right.
Again, we try to be as open and transparent as we can, not only with the software but with our customers. We don't do anything that they couldn't personally do for themselves, but most people are busy with their children and their family and work in their lives, and they simply don't want to do it. So we'll provide them with all the information that they need, and then if they would like to hire us, we're certainly there to take their case and to help them move forward and raise their credit scores. But no, information is free. They can call us anytime and ask questions, and we'll be happy to answer them for them.
So, todo el consultation free es gratis. So, ya saben, si tienes alguna pregunta, se pueden llamar porque es gratis a 941-445-0439. So, explain to our listeners about the credit scores. Are they allowed to get the credit scores? Is there a charge for the credit score reports?
Okay.
Or
That's a great question, and that's a little bit of a misconception that the public has. We are, as consumers, we're entitled to free access to our credit reports from each of the three bureaus once per year.
Okay.
However, they do not give us the most important part of that, which is the credit score. They still make us buy that. So they'll give us the data, but they won't give us the score. So you still have to pay for it. So if you were to go to the FTC site, which is annualcreditreport.com,
okay,
maybe you could put that link on the Facebook page or whatever so that they can just click on it.
Right.
And if you go there, you're entitled to get free copies of your report from the three bureaus. But again, they make you purchase the credit score, and they It's
so
like
the people get whatever, how many pages, depending on how
anywhere from 10 to 50, depending on.
Wow. Okay, so they get their credit report, they're looking at it, and they're just flipping through the pages, and they're looking for the credit score itself to know what their FICO score is. It's not there.
It's not there.
Okay, so they would have to pay for that.
But
if they were to say, okay, Chris and Shauna, I have this credit report, I can't read it. Can I send it over to you, and can you look at it and start telling me what I'm looking at?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the only way you can create a path for a solution, is to understand, it's good information in, good information out. If you don't understand what's in your profile, how can you work to fix it? You simply cannot. And unfortunately, the system is designed to be confusing to people. It's and they want people to maintain that frustration level, because it gives the third parties the ability to charge consumers higher rates of interest for lending. And that's just simply what it's designed to do. And again, I've been doing this for a long time. I can look at a credit report and dissect it in 5 minutes, because it's what I do. But from
you could do it in your sleep.
Yeah, but from a consumer perspective, it's it looks Greek to them, because it essentially is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a math algorithm that has different information based on payment history, based on time, based on debt. All of those things have different components to it, and unless you know what you're looking for, it looks confusing. It's just a bunch of numbers bundled together.
Wow, and they do that on purpose, just so they can still make money.
Yes, they do. Unfortunately, yes, they do.
Tell me about if somebody has collections, and collections is calling them because they want to get paid, obviously. How should they be paying directly to the collections, or how does that work?
Well, this is a big area of contention within the system itself. And it's very, very confusing. And I want you to be able to convey this to the listening audience, because this is probably one of the most important things that we can talk about today is collections. Okay. So let's just say that an individual has 2 collections.
Okay.
And they're for Verizon and Capital One, and they're unpaid, and they're considered charge-offs.
Yep.
Does the audience understand what a charge-off means?
Probably not.
So you have a credit card or a line of credit, $300 or $400. You charged it up, and then you stopped making payments, and then it was written off, and it went to collection. A third-party collection agency is now tasked with calling you and getting that money.
Okay. Colección. Si vamos por lo menos que colección, la compañía de Verizon y de Capital One te están llamando. Pero es un charge-off. En otras palabras, que ya tú cogiste esa cantidad de dinero, 300, 400, lo que sea, el límite. Ya lo subiste, llegaste al máximo y ahora no tienes dinero para pagarlo, o dejaste de pagar. Eso es un charge-off.
Okay, so let's just say it's 2 or 3 or 4 years later, and you run into a sum of money, and your moral compass says, you know what, I owe that money, I should do the right thing, and I should pay that collection off, and you think you're doing the right thing. Well, you may be doing the right thing from a moral perspective, but you're doing absolutely the wrong thing as it relates to your credit profile.
Válgame, si ustedes tienen una colección, como les dije, de Capital One o de Verizon, no lo pagaste. 2, 3 años pasados, está pasando, y llegaste a una cantidad de cierto de dinero y no puedes dormir hasta que pagas esos 2 dedos, porque eso está encima. So, para él está diciendo que no lo pagues. No lo pagues a eso, porque está haciendo daño a su crédito. They're doing damage to their credit if they pay those 2 credit cards off.
Well, they are under the way that the system is set up right now. And this is where people fall into the trap of not being educated as to how the system works.
Okay.
So it works like this. So if a credit card is in collection and it's 5 years old, according to the law, it will fall off after 6 years because of the statute of limitations.
Oh, I thought it was 7, but okay.
Okay, each state,
6?
it's 6.
Okay.
And,
Good to know.
And so the damage has already been done to your credit report because it's already a collection. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the way that the system is set up right now is if one of our members in the audience listening today has a collection and then they were to pay that off, okay, it goes from being an unpaid collection to a paid collection, and the status changes. It goes from unpaid to paid, and then now it stays on your credit report 6 years from that date. So it starts over again, and it actually lowers your credit score. You would actually suppress your credit score. You'd lower it by 30 or 40 points if you paid a collection. So there's another way to handle that, but go ahead and share that with the audience, and then we'll talk about the proper solution to that.
Okay, so vamos a decir, vamos a volver al Capital One y Verizon, la tarjeta de crédito, ¿ok? Hace como 6 años, 6 years on the credit report.
Yes.
Okay, eso se va a quedar en su crédito, el reporte de su crédito por 6 años. Ahora, no lo pagaste, ya van 5 años que eso está ahí, en su crédito, el reporte de crédito. Ahora ustedes quieren pagar esos 2 tarjetas. ¿Qué pasa? Pagaste eso hoy, pues eso se va a quedar en su crédito por 6 años más. En vez de dejarlo que se cae de su crédito, le está volviendo ese crédito. Y entonces, eso baja su credit score. Eso se está bajando su credit score. So, es mejor que no lo pagues. So don't pay it.
Don't pay it. That's exactly right. So if we are going to pay it, okay, so think of it in these terms. What does a collection agency want?
Well, they want their money. They want to get paid for...
They want their money,
Right.
And what do we want as the consumer?
We want our credit report to look beautiful.
Exactly. So there is a mutually beneficial agreement there. What we have to do, though, is we have to get that in writing ahead of time before they pay it. And essentially what Turn Score does is we get it in writing from the creditor that says they will delete the item in question in exchange for payment.
Do most of them agree to that? Or
It takes a few times, but what they understand is they want to get paid, and they don't care. We're just a number on a credit report. So, and we can show clients examples of pay for deletes that work in real time.
It sounds like you would have to go up the ladder, though, to get that.
You're not a low-level person is not going to be able to do that. We have to go to a supervisory level in a lot of cases, but we do it all the time. I mean, you just have to be proactive in that. The first thing we try to do is get it permanently deleted, and if that doesn't work and it's verified, then we negotiate a settlement in writing in advance. Because, listen, the damage is already done to the credit report. Once you pay them, you've lost your leverage to negotiate with them.
Es mejor, vamos a coger un comercial y regresamos. I gotta take a break.
La experiencia importa. En Title Abstract Agency of America somos líderes construyendo fuertes alianzas. Fundado en 1988, hemos comprobado nuestra fuerza. Contamos con un excelente equipo construyendo organización y éxito. Contamos con empleados que por más de una década han adquirido diferentes facetas en bienes y raíces, escrituración y acuerdos en la industria. Title Abstract Agency of America tiene la capacidad, preparación y habilidad para guiar a compradores, vendedores, prestamistas y agentes de bienes y raíces con un proceso sutil y tiempo razonable. En Title Abstract Agency of America trabajamos de cerca con nuestros escrituradores y guiamos a nuestros clientes comerciales desde un contrato hasta una escrituración. Contáctanos hoy mismo, 407-592-9544, de lunes a viernes de 8 a 6 de la tarde y sábados con cita. Toma ventaja de esta promoción. Utiliza nuestra plataforma. Adquiere hoy mismo una cotización inmediata para tu escrituración. Siéntete seguro y en paz confiando en Title Abstract Agency of America.
Hola, mi nombre es Michele con The QS Realty Group. Acompáñame todos los sábados a las 10 de la mañana para informarte las varias maneras de comprar tu casa. Hablamos el sábado.
Hola, mi futuro cliente. Aquí estoy, Michele, agenda de Buenas Raíces. Y aquí estamos con Chris de Turn Score, hablando sobre su crédito y cómo arreglar su crédito. Y estábamos hablando cuando fuimos al comercial sobre colección, si es bueno de pagar su tarjeta ya que pasaste y están en compañía de colección. Y es peor. Así que no lo pagues. I just repeated what we said, that don't pay it.
No, don't pay it until you can get it in writing ahead of time that they're going to remove it permanently from your credit report, because once you pay it, you've lost
the negotiation.
You've lost your negotiating leverage.
Si no lo pagues, tienes que preguntar a la compañía que te mandes una carta diciendo, después que yo voy a pagar esta cantidad, usted le vas a sacarlo del reporte. Si ustedes lo paguen a primero, entonces, ¿para qué te vas a preguntar? Porque entonces le vas a decir, ya tú me pagaste, ya yo tengo mi dinero, a ti no te voy a ayudar. No tienes ninguna manera de negociar sobre su colección. Así que pregunta por esa carta. Es una carta diciendo, si yo pago esta cantidad, usted lo van a sacarlo de mi crédito. I just told them they're going to remove it from their credit if they get the letter first. After they get if they get the letter, or if they pay it and they don't get the letter, they already lost the negotiation.
Yeah, you've already lost the ability to raise your credit score, and the system is set up right now where it would actually lower your credit score by paying a collection. It has the opposite effect of what you think would happen.
Because it'll bring it back up again, even though it was like at the bottom.
Yes, it'll start fresh. It'll re-age for a fresh 6 years. And it'll
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and that's one of the confusing things that people, there's a lot of fear out there. We talked in commercial break about people having fear of the credit bureaus and understanding it, and it's designed to be that way. It wants to keep people on edge and on the outside looking in, but you can't think of it that way. You need to be proactive, and you need to learn about how the system works so that you can maneuver within that system. And think of it in these ways. 100-point increase in your credit score probably equates to about a 15 to 20% pay raise in your take-home pay, just because of the cost of money. You might not make any more money at your job, but by having a credit score that's 100 points higher, your car insurance goes down, your auto loan rates go down, your mortgage interest goes down. All of the money that you have access to within the system, you take home more of your money because you keep more of your money. And that's the way that people need to think about the credit score. Is it's your take-home pay that is impacted the greatest. It's not your tax rate. It's your cost of money rate.
The cost of living.
That's right.
Living.
That's right. And it impacts everything. Your credit score impacts your ability to get a job. It impacts your ability for car insurance, for life insurance, for credit cards, for everything.
Right, because there's some companies out there that, if you're going to go work for a bank, they're going to pull your credit.
Yeah. And if you've got a 500 credit score, you're a risk to the bank as an employee. You may look like $1 million bill, but if you got a 500 credit score, you're not getting the job.
No, because they're going to feel like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's under pressure because of his finances. What is he going to do differently than someone else who's got a 750 credit score and is not thinking about stuff like that?
Right.
And having a good, sound credit score, it creates a good, sound financial footing, and it changes your mindset. It changes the way that you interact with your family and your friends and your coworkers. And we just like to empower people. And again, I would encourage people to get the ebook. It's in Spanish. To read it. It's 25 pages. It'll take 10 minutes, and you will really truly have a better understanding of how the system works, and we want to help people. That's all. Again, we don't charge for a consultation. People can call, they can talk to me, they can talk to Shauna, and we'll point them in the right direction to get a credit report and to understand what the problems are. And then if they want to hire us, we'd love to help them, but if they don't, that's okay too.
El número de hablar con Chris o con Shauna es 941-445-0439. Ya sabes, si ustedes tienen alguna preguntas, pueden llamar sobre tu crédito y es gratis. No hay ningún costa para nada, porque para hablar y hacer sus preguntas puedes llamar al 941-445-0439. Lo pueden llamar sobre alguna pregunta. Y eso, what happens after they fix their credit? They fix their credit. They're now, where they want to be. with their credit score? How does that work? Do you kind of keep them in the pool to where they kind of go for like therapy of how to fix their credit, or do you check up on them? Does their information stay active in your website? How does this work?
Well, that's a great question. Once you sign up and you register within the TurnScore portal, you have access to the website forever.
Okay.
There's a knowledge base in there. There's an information center in there that has virtually the answer to every and any question that you would ever have as it relates to credit. We, as a company, don't personally reach out to customers forever. There's just too many of them. We just simply don't have the resources to do that. But they can reach out to us with questions for as long as they want advice and insight. They can access the system forever.
So if they, they've been through your program, you've helped them, and then they have a question saying, hey, unfortunately, I need to buy, 2 cars because, I've had them for 15 years, and it's time for me and my, husband to get a car now.
Yep.
Can they call and say, what would that affect my credit? How would that,
Absolutely.
For advice? I guess money advice is what I'm asking.
Again, we've never, ever charged for insight and common sense financial literacy. Advice is free. Now, if they want us to work, if we fix their credit and 3 years later they damage it again and they want us to start over, well, that might be a different story. We might have to charge them again for that.
Well, I can see.
But for information, for Q&A, no, we never charge for that. It's always free.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again for coming on.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
You gave us wonderful information and
Adios, Orlando.
Adios, Orlando. That's right. You're going to a softball game. Bueno, yo quiero dar las gracias hoy para todos ustedes que le hice pregunta a Chris y quiero dar las gracias. También este jueves es el Día de Gracias. Y yo espero que todos ustedes pasen una semana con paz y el día de Thanksgiving, ya saben, no quemas el pavo, no lo quemes. Y ora por mí porque yo no soy ninguna persona que le gusta cocinar. Yo no sé mucho de cocinar. Ay, no te caes. Yo no sé mucho de cocinar, pero voy a tratar de hacer el pavo. Ya él me está mirando porque ella sabe las historias. Yo quiero dar las gracias. Si ustedes ya saben, si quieren comprar, vender una casa, yo tengo una programa de garantía. Si yo no lo vendo, yo lo compro. Así que llámame 321-300-5774. Ok, que pasen un buen día.
Hola, mi nombre es Michele con The QS Realty Group. Acompáñame todos los sábados a las 10 de la mañana para informarte de las varias maneras de comprar tu casa. Hablamos el sábado.